or fear of something else, you always need to ask yourself this question: what's the worst that could happen to me? Everyone, Hurricane Liz here, and as promised, I've got that agency, or what I call Agency 1.0 video, and it's ready to come out. So let's go ahead and start going over this so that you guys can see just how simple it is and just how quickly you can get started with having your very own Amazon business. So again, when you first start this, a lot of people have this idea that they're going to need to have this tremendous amount of skill, like at several different things. And while realistically, the more skilled you are, it's obviously much easier to sign a client, but you still, a lot of times they're still going to ask you for proof. And I don't even actually think I do have that in here. So we'll talk about that more here in a second. But let's go into the skill set and what you potentially need to have. So again, a lot of people have this misconception that you need to be skilled and you need to be a master at all these before you actually start. And as I said before, that is the furthest thing from the truth. And again, reiterating what I said earlier, you have to understand that, of course, the better skilled you are, the easier it's going to be for a lot of this. For example, somebody can be a tremendous salesperson. It's like my good friend Cotton Grammer is an amazing salesperson. So just the fact that he's an amazing salesperson will help him not have to be as good as the rest of this stuff. But I'm not saying he isn't. He's one of the best. But he built all these skill sets over time. But the good thing is that he started by working on his sales skills. So his sales skills were so good that he could get people to give him work just based off of that alone. So again, here is the skills that you will more than likely need in order to build this at some point. Doesn't mean you have to have them all now. You can have none of them now, and we'll still show you how to actually be able to sell. But you're going to need to be skilled in sales, marketing, general marketing, funnel building, lead generation, which basically means, and let me go over each of these, like sales is pretty much duh, right? All of us know that shit. It's sales. You got to be good at selling on the phone, all this crap, and or either selling with words. Marketing in general, that just could mean like, it's such a broad term that it could be many different things. It could be all these combined, like funnel building. Funnel building is basically, and in a future video, I'll show you that the funnel that we have, we use something that Cotton Grammer did invent, which is called the discovery form to funnel in our clients. You'll be able to have to generate leads, which means either you get people to call you or to visit your website or do something like that. So we'll talk about a different bit of those here in a second. And you're also going to have to be skilled in the actual service you're selling. So for example, let's say you're selling a ranking service on Amazon or a traffic generation service. You're going to be able to have to know how to rank at the end of the day. So let's say you're selling this service. A lot of people, depending on, again, how good you are, they're going to either require proof or no proof. Sometimes you'll just sound so convincing that they don't even ask you for your qualifications or proof that you are qualified, and they'll just pay you money, right? But there's going to come a time when some people, especially some bigger companies, are going to want proof of your abilities. So in those cases, that proof can come in the form of testimonials from your current client. It could come from proof, meaning you show them your actual current products and how well they rank, and or something that we call AMZ splitting. And you can learn more about AMZ splitting at matchit.io. That's the website, matchit.io. And again, we'll get more into Matchit.io and AMZ splitting in future videos. So stay tuned. If you have no proof to show these people, don't worry. We'll show you exactly what you have to show them. So again, this is how you'll get them as a client. These are the things that you should potentially maybe want to start learning. And again, we'll show you how to do all these here in the future. And then lastly, you're going to need to be able to set this up. And how you'll set that up is by, first of all, having this skill set, being able to generate leads. And now this means you're going to have to learn at least one of the following: either Facebook ads, YouTube, cold calling, just attending trade shows, which is probably my favorite way to start off, especially if you don't have any skills at all. A good old-fashioned just showing up at trade shows, knowing the lingo of Amazon, and offering, again, AMZ splitting, which we'll talk about in the future, will help you convince these people to give you a job. And you're going to need a business card, so I would recommend that. Cold emailing and or other. I mean, you can use any other tactics that you currently know to do this. but generating leads is very important. You'll want them to go to a landing page or website, which you can create with any of the following: WordPress, which we'll teach you in the future; ClickFunnels, which Josh is, if not the best in the world. I'd be surprised if even Russell Brunson himself is better than Josh at the actual art of adding ClickFunnels pages and just customizing them and all that. Shopify and other. And then lastly, for the setup, especially when it's a larger transaction involved, you're going to need to know how to take a sales call. You're going to need a script, which in the future maybe we can get you a simple one. You're going to need a payment method, a Stripe or PayPal work. You're going to need a contract of some sort. You're going to need to practice rebuttals, and you're going to want to take payment immediately and offer them a discount if they take the deal. So the last thing that I wanted to leave you guys here with, and again, we'll cover this more in depth in the future, but I wanted to ask you guys a question, which, what's actually stopping you from doing this? For a lot of people, that's fear. And when you are approached with fear and the fear to fail or fear of something else, you always need to ask yourself this question: what's the worst that could happen to me? I just talked to Baby Rob about this yesterday and told him in depth what I would say in any situation I'm in. And the other thing that I think about is the regret that I'm going to have several years down the line of not having done this when I had the opportunity to begin with. So always ask yourself those two questions, maybe even journal something about it, and then move forward. And the other thing that stops most people is they are under this ridiculous assumption that they need to have all these skills. And again, like I told you, you do not. In the coming weeks, we're going to show you exactly all that you need to do in order to get your foot in the door, and that is with this technique that's called AMZ splitting. And take a look at Matchit.io to understand what this is and what you have the potential to do. Really think about what you could do with it once you have a look. I'll talk more about that in the future. And we can also white label the work for you. We have a full service agency that can do all these things. So if you guys like this video, if you want to hear more about agency and maybe agency 1.1 and furthermore, let us know below in the comments and or subscribe to our channel and our list. And we will keep you informed when the next thing we release on agency is. But again, Amazon agency, a tremendous opportunity. I've not seen a gold rush like this in quite a while. And I really recommend you guys jump on this bandwagon. It's going to be well worth your time and energy to actually devote yourself to doing this. So I'll see you guys in a future video.